it's Ann. Today we're going to take a look at an older Oracle deck called the Power of Surrender cards. A 52 card deck to transform your life by letting go by Judith Orloff, MD. It's in a two-part hardcase box published by Hay House. It's been around since December of 2015. So about 6.5, almost 7 years. We are in April 2022. Now this is my second copy. My first one, this is my go-to deck for at the end of my reading. If you've seen my readings on the other channel, Anti Tarot, and I like to use it at the end, not only as clarifier cards, but kind of to wrap up a reading, final message as to, as you can see, the box is tight, as to what someone needs to work on or release at the end of the reading. So kind of reddish burgundy inside. Now it doesn't come with a guidebook, just this little pamphlet. It's a total of 52 cards. And right away I notice, and here's the back, so the back. Right away I noticed the quality of the cards are not the same like my original ones, and they're not gilded. I want to do a side-by-side comparison, but look. This is my old deck and this is the new deck. So the backs are the same, but the old one is silver gilded. And the quality is thicker, more plasticky. This one is not gilded, the new version. And it's, well, is it thinner? Yeah, it's a little thinner and it's not as thick. There is still a sheen, but it's not as thick. So I don't know if they have more cards or not. I didn't count my old one. I bought the new deck because I lost one of the cards here. And also because I used the cards so much. But anyway, no gilding in this deck. In the previous older deck there is silver gilding. And nice pretty clouds. And a lot of people ask me, because sometimes I use this as a comparison when I do my card review on Anti channel, and I pull this to compare the card size, and a lot of people say, what is that pretty, you know, the deck with the pretty back. So now you guys know that it's the Power of Surrender cards. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at these cards today, and then I'm going to do a comparison side by side with the older version just to see if there's any additional cards and if any of the illustration pictures on the card have changed. It doesn't look like it, but I didn't do a thorough comparison. Alright, so without further ado, so this, they're not numbered. There's key phrase up top, and then there's smaller phrase at the bottom. So keywords up top and smaller phrase at the bottom. So I'm not going to read all the bottom, so you can pause the video if you want to read it. I'm just going to read the top. Let's see if we can zoom in a little more. Okay, so surrender your fear of intimacy. Surrender the idea you can fix someone. Surrender to joy. So these are great. Like I said, it's my go-to deck, and I use it at the end of a reading as like a final message. I do that more so than as clarify cards, to be honest. Surrender to your full power. So that way you know what to surrender and what to work on. Surrender your belief in scarcity. Surrender your fear of change. Surrender frustration. Surrender comparison with other people. Surrender to creativity. Surrender the drama. Surrender to inner peace. Surrender your desire to control people. Surrender low self-esteem. Surrender to your intuition. Surrender your attachment to results. Surrender to success. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. surrender to spirit, surrender to setting limits, surrender fear, surrender to the wisdom of your body, surrender to complete healing, surrender to effortlessness, surrender to divine timing. That's a good one. Surrender resentments, surrender denial, surrender your ego, surrender outdated beliefs about yourself, surrender the habit of people-pleasing, surrender obsessive thinking, surrender your need to always be right, surrender to passion, surrender to play, surrender to rest and sleep, surrender to receiving love, support and love, surrender stress, surrender to miracles, surrender to wonder and awe, surrender negative thinking, surrender worry, surrender stubbornness, surrender to what is, surrender unhealthy relationships, surrender procrastination, surrender to trust, surrender to non-action, surrender your addictions, surrender defensiveness, surrender to the magic of who you are, surrender to prayer, surrender to silence, surrender to your soul's path. I think there's more cards in here because there's a couple of cards I don't recognize in the other deck. Alright, so that's all 52 cards. Here are the backs one more time. Beautiful backs. As I said, no guidebook. Just this little pamphlet. And it doesn't talk about the card. It's just instruction for working with the power of surrender cards. Tapping the visionary power of the cards. Relax, center yourself. How to use the card, hold the deck, connect with it. Shuffle the card, asking the question, absorb card's message, apply the card's message to your life. So basically how to use the deck, and then a little bit about the author, but nothing about the deck itself. But it's pretty self-explanatory because it tells you, and then there's key phrase at the bottom. So really no guidebook is needed. Alright, so that completes the walkthrough of the, let me zoom out, of the Power of Surrender cards by Judith Orloff, MD. And then when I get the chance, I'm going to do a comparison side by side in case some of you have the older decks and if you wonder if there's new cards. I think there's a couple new cards, but I'm not sure. We'll do a side by side and see what the difference is besides the silver gilding. Alright, if you're interested in this deck, as usual, I will put the link at the bottom of the video in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again in the next video. Bye!